You're not able to share. One moment.
Yeah, because I joined with my another email.
Oh, okay. You might need to join with the one that's in the team because I set that
Oh,
up for you to be able to share that way.
oh, okay, okay. I'll rejoin. Just give me a minute.
Okay.
Christian, I'm still unable
What is the
to.
React?
I'm still not able to share this. Only meeting organizers and presenters can share.
One moment. Let me make sure. Okay.
Yeah,
That
now it is
should.
enabled. Yeah, now it
Okay.
is enabled. I think in my meetup there are 27 RSVPs, but looks like people are struggling to join this team. That's what I'm seeing. Um, my screen is in share. So you see there are 27 RSVPs from my meetup, and we have very less number of people here, but that is perfectly fine. Let's go and let's go and get going. Okay, so thanks guys for joining. This is the series where we will be going ahead and discussing on the labs. So the plan of attack is, first we'll start with the basic lab, whatever it is. So if you see that there are 12 labs here. So first we'll see with the first lab, and we'll learn a little bit of things in theoretically there. And then we'll come to lab 2, and then lab 3. Like this, we'll do 12 labs. The plan is doing 2 labs a month. And apart from that, going to the AZ204 certification learning module, and we will learn those and do some hands-on and improvise on top of this. So if you see here in today's demo, we will be uploading the images manually. But once we learn about how do we play with storage account, if you see that in the module 3, you have different things. So once we learn how to play with these things, it will be easy for us to write a console application and then utilize it in this part 1. So that means the section where we are uploading the images to the storage account manually, that we can do through automation. And now we are creating this 2 web apps manually that we can automate through ARM templates. And the storage account creation will make it through automation. So first what we will do, first one round we'll go with the plain vanilla, basic, whatever is available. And then we'll revisit. First, let's complete these 12 demos and see where all the places we can improvise and how can we utilize the learn modules, creating our uh, own infrastructure to get going on this one. Okay. So even if you are unable to understand anything, that is perfectly fine. Again, we'll come back. If you want, we can redo the same lab again. Okay, anyone who has got any queries, you can either park it till the end or you can post it. Okay, so we'll do everything hands-on. Please let me know if you're unable to hear me or if my screen is not visible. I will be able to assist you. So let me show that this is the one which we are working today. This is the resource group. We don't have anything in this resource group. Everything will create it from scratch. Okay. So the first thing is these are official Microsoft labs. So we are on the lab one. So here we are dealing with a couple of things. One is the app service. So one of the app service is being used for the web API, one for the web app. And this is the app service plan. So app service plan means we are guaranteeing compute power. It's not that we are being given a virtual machine, but we have been given a compute power like this much, A1 series or B1 series or n number of series, where we are telling that, okay, you will be allocated this much of hardware resources power, the compute units. Okay. So first thing what we will do is we'll play with storage account, where we'll go and upload the images, the sample blob images, and then we'll create a web app. Okay, that's the app service. And the first one will be used for web API. And once that is done, we'll create another web app. Okay. And here, the most important point is we will be using the app service, and this is for the web application. This is for the visual UI. How do you deploy this? Is through the zip package, which you will be applying this easy web app deployment, and we'll configure the front end also. So we'll see all these things step by step. Right now, the resource group itself is empty. We don't have anything in the resource group. So we will start from scratch. Okay. So let me go to this. Here is the resource group. So first thing we'll follow step by step. It might take 1 hour or 10-15 minutes here and there, plus or minus. Okay. So that's cool. Oliver, from which country you are? So here you can see that the first step is we will be creating the storage account. So we'll create a storage account, the subscription, the resource group name. We'll call it as the resource group. We are calling it as AZ10, AZ204. That's the resource group. So we don't need to worry. Thanks. So the name is image store. We can give today's date, and the performance is standard, this one. So let's start hitting the road. So first thing is we'll click on create, and storage account. Let's create this storage account, and I'll use this side of this so that it will be easy for me to flip between these instructions. labs, lab 1. It will be easy for me to do a switch between these two. Okay, subscription, the resource group, let me do a create. Okay, subscription is this. The resource group, we will be selecting AZ204 lab 1. And what is the storage account name? This is IMG store. IMG store 16 Feb East US, and performance tier is standard tier, and we can take the locally redundant. We'll come back on learning what is this redundancy, but at this point of time, let's do the hands-on without knowing much of the theoretical thing, and then we'll revisit. Okay, so then we're done with that, the basic thing, and we'll keep as it is. So on the review tab, we'll do that, and then there are a lot of options. We will not touch anything, and we'll come to the review tab and select create to create the storage account. So let's click on create. It will create the storage account. There are a couple of points I would like to highlight it here. The first point is we'll see here in the operation details. So it shows that what is this operation? That means it's a create operation. What is that it is creating? So it is creating Microsoft.storage accounts. Okay. And similarly, if we are creating the web apps and app service plans and web apps, at the time you will see how many items it has created. So you can come back here and you can see this. When we come here, these many things it has created. So you can get into each and everything to know more. So what is that? So it created storage accounts file service, and how many seconds it took? 32 seconds. And if you go into this, what is happening is it created the blob service and it took 32 seconds. And this is the main thing which it created. It created the storage accounts. So you can see storage accounts, the file services, and storage accounts, the blob service, and the storage account itself. That is one point. And another point is you can click on this download to download the template. Or you can go click on this template. Here in the template, you will know this. Everything is here. Like if you come to the scripts, you can use both of the scripts, but what parameters we have given. See this? All these parameters are there, and also the template file is there. You can add it to the library and reuse it, or you can save it locally and execute it either through the PowerShell or Azure CLI. So always focus, because I told this is the first time we are working. Let's do everything through manually. And then what happened is, again, we'll redo the same lab 1 and do the improvisation. Okay, we don't even come to this portal. We will execute some command using the ARM template. That itself will come. It will create the resource group. It will create the storage account. It will create the app service plan. It will create the app, 2 app services. How good it is. So without doing the step 1, if you do that, we'll be confused. So that's the reason what I'm doing is we will do this once manually, and then we'll revisit this, and again we do the improvisation on top of this. Okay, so we just created this storage account, and now we go to the storage account, and we need the access keys. Okay, so let me open up this and get the access keys. We will go to this one. Okay. So in the storage accounts, security and networking under access keys. So inside the resource group, we have the storage account. We go to that storage account, and here under security and networking, you have access keys. So that these are keys of the kingdom. So if it gets into the wrong hands, that will create a lot of problem for us. So access keys, in the access keys blade, click on show, and we need to select the connection string, any one of the connection string. So maybe the primary connection string or the secondary connection string. Okay. So rotate keys means what will happen is it will regenerate the keys. Suppose if someone took this connection string from us and we don't want him to access this anymore, so we can do a rotate. So that means when he uses this connection string, he'll not be able to make it because we changed the main key with which this was generated. So just copied it. I'll keep it here on the clipboard for the time being. Okay, let's keep that. Let's come back to this. We did that, or we pasted it. Now we need to upload the blobs. Okay, we need to upload the blobs. Where is the blobs? So we have all files. Okay, on the storage account under the data containers, we need to create a container, and the container name will be images, and we need to select blob anonymous read or access. Let's come back to this one. Let's go here, and under the data storage, we need to select containers, and inside the container, click on container and give the container name as images, and it will be blob anonymous read access for the blobs. Okay, we need to select that. That is this one. Then you can see this, the newly created images folder exists. Now we need to upload some of the images. Okay, we have this image, one image. So let's upload this image. Let's click on this and come back to this all files. Let's go to the labs, and this is the first lab, and inside the starter there is a folder called image. So let's select this and browse all the files, and let me upload all the images. Override if exists, and click on upload. It is uploading these files. Hurry there. All files, we got this, and then select open. Override this file exists. So it will upload. Now then we need to create a web app. So again, we need to go to the portal. Let's wait until it uploads. So all the files has been successfully uploaded. So now if I go click on any of those things, and you can see that the URL is this one. And if I navigate to other places and I click on that, I will be able to see this image. Because if I put this in the chat, you guys will be able to access this. Like if I put this in the chat, you guys will be able to access this one. Try accessing it, that image in the meanwhile. Okay. So that's cool. Now what we will do, we will create the web app. So we will go to the web app. We will create a web app here. Again, the resource group. We'll call it as an image API and code .NET 6 Windows East US. And the plan, we need to create a plan. And the plan value is asking us to leave it as it is. Okay, so let's come back to this one and go back to this resource group. And let's take this web app here and click on create. Click on create. And once we come here, the subscription and the resource group. The web app name will follow the same convention, 16th Feb. So we know that. And the code and the runtime stack is .NET 6. We can use .NET 7 also, no harm. Code, and the platform we are selecting is Windows East US. Okay, and then what we can do is we can take this and we call it as app here. And when it comes to this one, we can create a new where we call it as plan. So this is app service plan. I'll show you what is the difference in a minute. So this is S1. So let's explore these plans for a moment. So one thing is hardware view and feature view. So the hardware view is what it says that the computing power and the price. So if you take basic, you are going to get 100 Azure compute units and one vCPU, 1.75 GB of RAM, and remote storage is 10. You can scale up to instances, 3 instances. SLA is 99.95, and per hour it is going to cost 6 rupees, and per month it's going to cost somewhere around 4,300 rupees. Okay, so you can go more and more. Those are the popular options. Like something you want to quickly test, you can either do a shade or basic. And production load, you can take this, and you have isolated load also. See that you have to pay 1,25,000 rupees. This is 60,000. This is 31,000. I mean, they are giving that much of features. And if your business is making money, you definitely need those resources to accommodate your customers. You definitely have to go with that. But for us, it's like we can go ahead with this basic plan. That should be good enough. Okay, let's select this basic plan and click on select. So that's what this app service plan. Just give me 2 more minutes. I will give you further explanation on that, more information on that. I don't want this application insights. We'll come back because application insights is little far from this one, because this is our first lab. As I was mentioning, we'll start with this basic. We'll go to the future rounds, then we'll revisit the same lab and do it in an improvised manner, right? So that's the plan. So throughout here, we'll be conducting a lot of these sessions. So any queries till now? Jalal? Ravi, Rupesh, Harnath, Saurabh?
Good
No
fun.
questions, but we may need to try it once. Then we may
Yes,
come up with more questions.
true. So monthly, there will be 2 episodes of this one around the same time, so that we can accommodate people from different countries. So that's the
Right.
reason we have chosen this time. So this is app service plan. I told that this has been done. We can go to this deployment, and here you can see that one is forms, one is sites. Microsoft.websites, Microsoft.web server forms. So when you go to that operation details, here, if you scroll down in the server forms, okay, in this server forms, you can see that plan. So this is for app service plan. We have given this. So that means this is app service plan, and this is so that is the app service plan. That is what guaranteeing you the compute power. Okay, we have seen that. Let's come back to this. So we have created the storage account, we have created the app service plan, and we have created the app service. Now when you come and click on this, you will see the default page, it will display. Okay, so that means if you go to this one, it will show you the default page. Let it come. In the meanwhile, I will come to this app service editor. You can see this is the default page every app service plan will have. Now if I come and open the editor, app service editor from here, you can see this is the default page. When we come in here, it will open up from here the deployment development tools, app service editor. You click on that app service editor, you will come to this one. You see that SCM, right? That's the difference between the website and the app service editor. You have this. This is the hosting start. I will delete everything. I will add the h1 tag, save it. Now come and see that. So that means what happens is every app service you created, there will be a hosting start.html, and that is what it will be displayed once you go there. Right. So that being said, what we can do is we have created this plan and we went deep into that and we saw how to find that what is the default page it is loading. So storage connection string, that is what we need to create it. So where do you create this storage connection string? So if you come back here, inside this configuration, see this in the app service settings configuration link, and in the configuration link, app settings, in the app settings, there are two things, app settings and connection strings. So inside this app settings, we need to click on new app settings and put this, and the previously copied connection string, we need to put it here and click on OK and click on save. The moment you save it, it will restart this web app. Okay, that's cool. So we have created this, and then afterwards on the app service plan where in the section, select the properties link to view more information about the app service. We don't need to. Okay, get this and go. It will show the default page. We didn't deploy anything till now. Whatever the page we have seen, that's the default. That's a default page. Hosting start. You see that. Like if I come here, style. Change that. We can play around anything. This is a hosting HTML. This by default they give it. Now we need to deploy the web API. So in Visual Studio Code, we can open this and then open this API. Okay. And then in this Explorer pane of the Visual Studio, expand the controllers, you'll see one controller, right? So in the editor of this, line 26, which retrieves the container. In images container, you can see this one. Let's go through that while watching it live. Let's do that. Let me close that. Let me close everything. This is the lab one. And this is the one. So what they're telling is you need to open the API folder. That's what we did that. And then we will go in the Explorer pane, select this and select the images controller. So we can go in here and select, and we have opened it, right? And then what they are asking us to do is go to line 26, observe that get cloud blob container. Okay, 26, get cloud blob container. So here the options dot storage connection string. You see the same name. With the same name, we have created the storage connection string. So that means in local, you can use app settings. So inside this app settings, you can see that the storage account connection string is here. I can paste it here, but technically what will happen? This guy is asking us to view it. Okay. And in the images controller, line 36, get method, what is happening? Let's see that line number 36, there's another one, get method. So this guy is getting the container because we didn't start discussing anything on the storage one, the blobs thing. We'll come back to that one. It retrieves this blob and adds the file URL and send it back. Okay. So that's what this guy is doing. Let's do a AZ login here. I do AZ account show. It will show the currently logged in account. And if I'm not logged in, it shows. And how many accounts you have, you can get through the list also. I'm not going to update it now. Currently, I'm logged in. I will install a little later. So first, I'm already logged in. Okay, so this is the okay, what is the resource group name? Resource group name is this one. This is the resource group name. Resource group. That's the name of the resource group. AZ Web App lists the resource group. So it shows that all the web apps, we have it here. So we created that web app. You can see that it is showing that list, including the app service plan ID. Okay, we had this plan image API 16 Feb. So it shows all those things. Okay, and another thing is you can select this way. We can select that way is another way. Let me copy all those things so we can execute it everything in one stretch. Okay, that's one way to execute it. And another way to execute is this one. Anyways, we are there. It is not a big deal for us to set that up. Let me copy these two command lines and go back to my virtual machine and use this one, copy, and I'll you can see that we can execute that and it will paste it. Okay, starts with image API. Something which is starting with image API. It's troubling me. Okay, let it display deployed. So now he's asking us to go back to that API folder. We are already there in that API folder itself. Okay, let me open a new PowerShell so that we can execute our commands here. And here what is that we are doing is AZ web app deployment source. We are deploying the zip file. So that zip file is this one, API. So you can see that AZ web app deployment source config zip, the resource group, this name, and the source is api.zip and name of our web API. Okay, so that's what we need to do. So let me copy this, come back to that virtual machine, and here I will go copy this. Okay, I'm pasting that here, and
Hello.
and
And that way.
RG RG AZ 204 lab 1, right? And what is the name of our API? Is this one. Let me get this name. Click, go copy, paste it here, and get this. So now if you see that, getting the SCM credentials, starting the zip deployment, and it starts the deployment. We are already here in this. If you refresh it very quickly, if you see that, if you are lucky, we will see it. Oh God, by the time we came here, it deployed all these things. So what will happen is for a fraction of a second until the deployment happens, they will display under construction or maintenance some HTML file it will deploy. Previously, there was only one file, hosting start.html. Now, if you come and see this, it will not show that because that file is gone, and we have deployed our project that API project has been deployed. Okay. So, okay, that API project has been deployed, and you can see this. And how do you know that the API project? So see this when you go, so that means it executed the get method. So let me show this. What does that mean? If you come in here, I have this JSON viewer. You can see this in a nice format. You can see that all those files which exist is here. So we have crossed that step also. So we did that, and we went into that, and we saw that web API. And then what will happen is, okay, we definitely need to see that. That also we have seen that, isn't it? So if you go and see here once again, so those files, all those files has been deployed here in this app service editor. So one important thing, very important thing is between the code, how we execute it locally, how we deploy it on the server, and how does it get the configuration. So if you see here, you have the app settings JSON, but what is the storage connection string? Storage connection string is empty, but we have created a configuration item. We have created a configuration item, and that configuration item, we have named it as storage connection string. So we named it as a storage connection string. When the code executes, the storage connection string, and we have given the value here. So what happens in real time in the production system when we deploy it to Azure, all this app settings value, you can have it here, or you can put it as part of the configuration here. So the best practice is to put it in the configuration. Anyone who has got access in locally, you might check in into the source code. There might be multiple problems. Just to be on a safer side, we have to store it there. Okay. So we crossed that step also. Now we need to build the front end. Again, we have to create, this is web app. It's pretty simple. We already know that. How are we creating it? Let's do that. It will not take more than 2 minutes time for us to do it. So we'll go here and we'll select web app. There you go. So select this web app and click on create. And let's app images 16 web and the same .NET 6 Windows East US. Oh, it's in East US. Why am I changing it? We'll create a new one. Plan this, and we'll go and explore the pricing. Let's take a basic. So this previous exercise, we have seen the hardware view. Now we'll see the features view. So he's telling that what is that you will get it. So you get custom domain from basic, and also you can do a scaling, manual scale. And you can see that whether some of the things they allow scaling, some they don't allow scaling, some they have automatic scaling. So it all depends upon how much you are willing to pay. I mean, what is the demand? So it's not how much you're willing to pay. It is things which are driven from the business. So you have 100 customers. For this less traffic, you don't need it. But if you have 500 customers, you might need a bigger one. And imagine you have 1,000 customers, you might need a bigger compute units. And you have 10,000 customers, you definitely need a bigger compute unit. So it all driven by the business and the number of customers you need to support. It's as simple as that. Okay. So it will come. By the time, let's go and look into what are the next steps. So here we have this one we have created. And did we create all? I want to see that. Okay, we did that. We uploaded it and we created, and that is reading it from images. And we are creating here in this thing. He is using the same plan for both, but we are using different plans. That's one difference which we are doing it from this lab. Okay, API we have deployed. We did a zip deploy. We created the front end, and we said no to that one. And again, in this, we need to get the protocol. This is the protocol. I mean the URL. It should be API URL. Now again, come back to this. Wait for that. So this is a web app. We go here. Previously, we created an app settings that is for the storage connection string. Now the front end has to speak to the back end, isn't it? So the backend or the middle tier is the API. So for that API, it will have to create it. So let's go there. This one, and you can see the HTTPS URL is this. We need to paste this HTTPS URL and click on OK and click on save. Okay, so that's the first thing we have to do. And deployments are text box, retain value, select OK. I mean, that should be fine. Now we will go to this one and open the file. Is asking us to observe what the things are. We don't need to. We can directly come and execute this command. Because we already seen that. He's asking us to go through the code, what it does. We'll learn, we'll improvise this code for sure. Okay. God. So let's come back to this one and let's go to this. And here is that the web API. Let's go and use the terminal app. Because Visual Studio Code, it might be funky at this point of time. I'm not sure because I was installing something. Actually, I should have done CD. It's my mistake. Okay, that's here. And we have to deploy. Let's see, there is a zip file, web zip. And let me go here, paste this command, and notepad. We need to change a couple of things. So let me paste it there. The first thing I need to get is the web app name. That's the web app name. This is a painful, isn't it? I need to copy it there. I need to copy it here. Okay. And the resource group name is RG AZ204 lab 1, right? So that's the one. So I selected this. Ooh. I think that installation was going on. I disturbed it. I think that is troubling us. Let's give this another shot from here. Let's open the terminal. I know that. Ooh. Because the installation, I stopped it in between. What option do I have? What option do I have? That's the file. I shouldn't have selected it. Just give me 1 minute. Let's quickly deploy, install the latest Azure CLI. Let's get this MSI. It will not take much time. Once we did this, we can do a quick integration. Oh, my younger son is playing some music here. I think I'll close all this terminal because that's where it created a problem last time. Okay, set repair. Let's give it a couple minutes. It will not take much time, but we got the latest Azure CLI. So I'm sure things will be good. Okay.
Before it runs, I have a question.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. Tell me.
Sorry. Okay. So I see we are executing Python script.
No, we are executing the Azure CLI scripts.
Okay.
So it asked me that the existing AZCLI tool on my virtual machine was older version.
Okay.
So it's asked me to upgrade it. I upgraded it.
Okay.
So suddenly wanted to close that Visual Studio Code. I shouldn't have done that because this installation started from the Visual Studio Code.
Right. Okay.
So I shouldn't have done it. So what did I do is I closed the Visual Studio Code. So abruptly it stopped this installation also.
Okay, got it. Yeah, yeah.
So that's where, but internally this Azure CLI has been written in Python.
Right. Okay, got it.
So that's where it destabilized my environment.
Right.
I
Okay.
think now it will be good. It is almost done.
Sure.
Max of 5 minutes.
Okay, no issues.
Hey, how do you pronounce your first name? Olivier, or how do you pronounce it? Two minutes, it will be done. And we will also be done. It's almost done. I didn't expect that the command will make me cry. Almost done. I just want to wait 10 seconds more. Done. I think that's done. Removing the backup files. And we can try this. Finished. That's cool. That's cool. We're back online. So let's use this one because we need the zip file. Come back here and do this, and we need to execute this command, which we already prepared it. And Wolfish has been duplicated. Okay, let's see. When I go here, this is a site. Let's execute this and see what is that it is showing. There you go. It shows all these images. The 6 images it is showing. So I can upload our own images. So if I go in here, personal. Okay, my 2 sons. There you go. So we're able to upload. The site works. So let's do a quick recap. But again, we'll revisit this and we'll go through this. Okay. So we are able to create a storage account and upload files. And then we were able to create a app service plan and app service. And we created a configuration item in the app settings in website. And we went and saw that what is that hosting start.html is and how do we modify it. And then we did a zip deploy to that web API and we executed that web API to see we got the array of strings. And then we created another image. This is for the web app. And that web app we have created the API URL and gave the HTTPS URL of the web API to this one. So it receives the array and it displays. Okay. So we'll configure the next lab, and also first let's do all the labs and then we'll do improvised labs, and then we will go through the individual topics from MS Learn module and see how best we can create a hands-on from that. Okay. So any feedback, positive or negative, please feel free. And how did you like this lab? And hope you guys will join for rest of the series also. Harinath?
Yeah, sure. I have a question.
Yes, please.
Like, why did we directly jump onto storage account? I was expecting kind of a creation of virtual machine or a creation of web app, kind of a
Oh,
basic
because the
instruction.
lab, the Microsoft lab, that itself is structured in this way. You see that?
Yeah, I've seen that. Yes.
Yeah.
So my question was like, why Lab One is started with storage account?
Oh, we are not discussing anything on the storage. If you see that, storage is just to upload some files. That's the
Exactly.
only thing it is doing. See this, we are
Right.
uploading
Right.
the files that too manually. But if you
Right.
see the lab 3, this
Mm-hmm.
is where we will discuss more on the
Original
storage.
storage. Okay. Okay.
Ah,
Yeah.
so
Fine.
so
I
that
was
is the
thinking. Okay. I
yeah.
was thinking. I did I miss anything on storage part?
No, no, no. So that
Okay.
is the reason what I told is we will revisit these things.
Right.
So that
Okay.
means we have created this. Again,
Mm.
we'll come back and
Mm.
we will do the upgraded version of this. At this point of time, you are seeing we have created the storage account, we have created the container, then we uploaded the images manually, and app service and app service plan we created manually. So these all things should be done automatically. That means you need to have an ARM template. You executed Azure CLI with that ARM template. It should go and create the entire infrastructure what is needed for you. You
Right.
don't need to do it manually. So we will
Got.
revisit the same lab again.
Okay.
So I think this is the first lab, isn't it? I think
Yes.
I was expecting more people on this bridge, but for some reason I think people were very less.
Yeah.
Let's
Maybe it's a working day.
Yeah, that could be one reason. That could be one reason for sure. Hey, you guys all are from all are there in my meetup group.
Yes.
So you're
I'm there.
okay. You're there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ravi.
I was also listening your minimal API session.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Olivier. I don't know. I'm sorry. Uh, uh, how to pronounce your first name? Ravi. Anything from you, Ravi?
No, I'm good, Swami. I'm following your videos, YouTube videos, as well as I'm part of the meetup group also. I'm glad I'm part of this discussion.
Oh, thank you so much for your kind words. I mean, you guys have to stay tuned because I'm going to do a architectural series there. Oh, I think very less people they are joining it, but I'm going to create an architectural series. That means the minimal API. After this, I'll explain what will happen. The minimal
Sure.
API is there. After minimal API, we will do this is with the read only in memory. Then we'll create the SQL server to this. Then we'll create a web API and then intercommunication between these two services. These two are microservices. There will be an service communication, synchronous inter-service communication. Then there will be asynchronous inter-service communication. Then you will have an UI. Then you have an admin application. A lot of things are going to come throughout this year. Stay tuned to that. Don't leave that series, whatever I'm doing it there.
Sure,
So
we'll follow.
interesting. Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, cool. You guys from Hyderabad?
I am from
No,
Hyderabad.
I'm based out US.
Harnath, you're based in US. Oh, okay. Which area?
No, it's me, Ravi. Okay, I'm from Kentucky.
Oh, Kentucky. Oh, okay. So Harnath, you're from Hyderabad. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
I am
cool.
from Hyderabad. Yes.
Oh, okay. So that's cool. So thanks so much, guys. Let's this is just the starting. I'll be doing more and more events here also, at least monthly twice, and I will post all my other series also, just for additional knowledge others can learn. So it was really nice speaking to you all. So, thank you guys. Have a
Thank you.
Good night.
Yeah, good night.
Yeah, Olivier. Thanks. Oh, I don't know how I'm pronouncing your name. How to pronounce your first name? Is it Olivier or how do you pronounce? Yes, it was good. Oh, okay. Thank you. Merci beaucoup. Thanks. Good night.
Okay.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Good night.
Bye-bye.